Most permanent lighting installers are doing it wrong, and they don't even know it. They start at the bottom, work their way up, and hope the light lands somewhere decent at the peak. And 9 times out of 10, you end up with a big ugly gap at the most visible point of the entire house, the focal point. That's the thing homeowners stare at every single time they pull into the driveway, and it just looks off. I'm Devan Williams with IronPeak Lighting Systems, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we install, starting at the peak every single time, and why the TrueCenter Apex track is the reason our guys can put up a new installer on a roof and get a perfect symmetrical result on their first job. No measuring, no guesswork, no callbacks. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how we like to do our installs. Long story short, what we like to do is we like to start at the peak, which we've mentioned many a times on this channel. So here's a peak track piece. I've shown you some close-ups in previous videos. I may have them loop it real quick just so you can have an idea. But anyways, we start off here. IronPeak always starts from the peak, with it being the focal point of every single house. We start here so that way it centers perfectly. And then once it's installed up here, every light going left and every light going right will always be 100% symmetrical. It's a no-brainer when you're getting into the industry, or if you're a business that has many guys out there. The only way to get perfection is by having something that's completely consistent every single time. It makes every single install identical. So the way we like to start is you'll start with your peak piece, okay? I always use the single nodes on the peak, so that way I can start my 3 nodes on the way down on the left and right side, because our track's already 3 nodes. So what you do is you take the bigger lip side and then you'll slide it under this fascia lip. And the fascia lip will help hold it, but also behind here there's wood. So as you screw in through the thicker side, it's gonna give it something else to grab on. So you're gonna screw through the fascia lip, you're gonna screw through this flange, and then into the wood back here, which will hold it in place a lot more sturdy. Very simple, literally takes 2 seconds to pop in. And then it's as simple as you would normally do on any other track lighting. You just simply go in, simple as that. Go ahead and do the right side as well. Now this is just something to secure it, to give it a little more grab. For the most part, that's about as simple as it is. And then you proceed with plugging them in to your next run. So we'll do these in a 3 strands along with our regular aluminum track hat channel. And then we'll work our way down this way and then also down this way. When you're looking at a house, with it being the focal point, you want to start here, you got a light here, and then as you work your way down, every light is identical. Then I know from here, 12 inches on either side is going to be a light, and then 12 more inches, 12 more inches, 12 more inches. So when you get a house like this, which I'll pan over and show you, so it's got 4 different peaks on it like this one does. You want to have the exact same look on every single peak. The old way, or the way most individuals do it, is work their way up. And with being spaced identical every single time, you never know how it's going to land. So you could have one that lands right here, and then you could have one that lands right here, leaving a big gap of lighting right up there in the middle, which for somebody that's OCD or somebody that's performing really high-end installs, this is never something you want to see as a client. If I'm this homeowner and I come to my house and I've got this big gap right here after paying thousands of dollars to have it installed, that right there is going to really upset me. Some people are a little more lenient with it, but I look at it as if I'm paying a premium price, I want premium product. And then the same thing going down either side. So as we go down the left side, as we go down the right side, we'll do the same where we're screwing in on the fascia. Then they'll be completely symmetrical down both sides. Also, some of your other manufacturers will teach you, hey, let's start at the peak. However, they never have a piece that's dedicated for it. Usually, if you're working your way up here, you've got to make a cut between 2 different pieces and butt them up against each other like this, okay? Depending on the pitch of the roof depends on the angle of that cut. And so getting it consistent each and every time is nearly impossible for new guys, or it just takes a lot more training, a lot more time. Whereas I can take somebody that's never installed anything before and literally put them up here and tell them, hey, do this, and they just put it up there, and then work your way down, and you'll get a perfect result every single time. At the end of the day, like as far as scaling a business, to me that was a big thing. Whenever I send my guys out, I wanted it to be a perfect install on every single install, no matter if it was somebody that I just hired or if it's somebody that I've had for 5 to 10 years doing work with us. This right here ensures that you're able to do that. All right, guys, from down here, before we put it up top, if we know that we've got a big run, a longer run, we're gonna go ahead, clip some of these down here prior to going up on the ladder, just so it's one less thing that you've got to do when you go on the ladder. Now we have ours in 3s, and then we have the track in 3s as well. So a lot of times what we'll do is, because sometimes it's hard to put another end up on the ladder, what we'll do is, if we know that it's going to be more than 3 coming down, so let's say we know we're going to need, I don't know, 12 light nodes going down one of the pitches, we will go ahead and we'll clip in these, and then we'll go ahead and extend our 3s, but not clip it in yet. We would take a second strand similar to this and then connect down here while it's hanging loose. Because when you get up there with the track, you can easily just pop them in and then slide it in and screw it. The reason is because sometimes on a ladder, getting the angle of trying to clip in this water connector, sometimes it can be a little challenging to do depending on how the ladder is. If we can eliminate one of those steps while we're on the ground, obviously more safety, the better. So to show you what that would look like, and then I'll show you as we're putting it on the top of the roof. It's easy to think of it like this. So with this being the larger flange, if that's what's going underneath the lip, so let's say you're coming down the left side, or if you're coming down the right side, your male is always going to point towards where your box is. So if my box is in the garage, I know if I'm working from right to left on this house, I know for sure that my male has to be on the left side, because what's coming out of the box is a female. All right, guys, so to pick up where we were just a second ago, we were installing the peak. Now that the peak is installed, now it's time for the regular tracking too. So I showed you down when we were on the ground on how we like to do as far as for the tracking. So now it's pretty well simple, plug and play. IronPeak made it so that way it was as simple as possible. We wanted it to be where it was pretty well dummy proof. All your light strands are going to be in 3 nodes or single nodes, completely consistent with the hat channel, making it identical each and every time. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll start with connecting our connectors, which I'll show you some close-ups of it as well. So we slide it in there like so, and then we will twist the watertight connector. What this does is this ensures that no water can get inside there, causing a short in the line. And then this customer, so this is an add-on that we have. A lot of our premium customers end up wanting to get this. This is a track cover. So basically when this is setting up here, you have a gap that's there, and sometimes from the ground it can be very noticeable. So what this track cover does is it goes over top of it on both sides, slides under there. You can screw into it as well so it stays. But what it does is it's going to give it more of a clean install. It installs the same way the track does. It slides in under the fascia lip. It will fit over top of either side. The closer you screw to the edge, the harder it is to fit it in there. So this slides over here. I usually go ahead and I put it up here before I put this piece in, just simply because when it's already up there, it's easier to slide it over on top of this to where it like covers the cracks. So we'll slide this in here. I always like to make sure I get it under the fascia lip. Then we push it together. Make sure that all your wire is tucked in behind there underneath. Then we slide it up so it's underneath the track cover. Like I said, this is not a necessity, but this client elected to have it, and honestly it gives it a lot better look during the daytime. Just hides everything a little better and it looks more premium. I usually like to do a screw in the middle of the track, and the reason why is because it'll hold it so that way I can put more pressure up here where the track seam cover is. So it goes in like so. A lot of times too, like when you're screwing it in, it's best to kind of hold some pressure on it back here at the same time while you're putting the screw in. It just causes it to kind of have a little more bite to it. All of our screws too are color matched. Our screws, what they'll do is they will hide the fact that there's screws in it, because with them being color matched, we want it to be the same color and everything. They're all stainless steel and they're powder coated as well. A lot of manufacturers will paint them, We look at powder coating them just to make them a little bit more durable, while also too being a little bit higher quality. We look at it as a premium product. It should have premium powder coating. Another thing we do when you're going down, the further you go down, the more the bracket starts to kind of try to fold outwards. So every so often we'll put a screw into the back of it as well, just simply to give it a little more grab on the back. So same as we did before on the other side, now we're doing on the right side. So what you'll do is you'll go up here. I'm gonna try to stay out of the way, but to get the angle and everything. But so what you'll do is you'll clip in like you would down there. The screw in is probably the most important part, because that's what's gonna give you waterproof connection. The last thing you want is to have an issue there. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put it up here. Make sure the longer flange is out this way, same as you did before. Then we got it in there like that. All right, now same thing as before. We're gonna go ahead and slide this part under the fascia. Don't forget to tuck the wire. And we're gonna slide it up under the sink cover. We're gonna make sure all the wiring is underneath. Keeping tension still on this side. We're gonna put a screw here. That's the IronPeak install system. Peak first, symmetrical every time, and simple enough that any installer you bring on can execute it on day one. If you're an installer or a lighting company looking to add permanent lighting to your service lineup, IronPeak has a dealer program built exactly for that. No buy-in fees, free training, and a system that's genuinely easier than anything else on the market. Links are in the description. See you in the next one.